In a tall building of a city, there were a lot of rooms. Each room had a number. In room number 311, a person lying on the bed. It was at 8:47 a.m. in the morning. Black cloud covering the blue sky. As each room waiting to be happen. They just wake up, put on class. There were no one in the room except them and a vase with dying red roses. Beside the vase, there was a paper that said, "Read me." They opened the paper and found out it is a letter for them, and it said,
Dear, thank you for every moment that we shared with each other, but I want to say sorry. I won't be able to continue our relationship further because all the promises that I made were fake. You were never important to me. I had no special feelings for you. Look at you. How can I be with someone like you? But you are a very good and kind-hearted person. I feel sorry for everything that I've done. I hope you meet someone who loves you. I'm sorry. Your liar boyfriend.
after reading that, they just stood up and ran out. Little tiny drop of water falling on the street where everyone were running to find a dry and safe place. People walked like nothing was wrong, but everything was wrong for that person. They put on their headphone and walked with the eye full of tears and sadness. They sat on the street crying with no one to talk to for hours. No one noticed them. Later they stand up and went back home. Reaching home, their mother saw them with wet clothes and started questioning. She shouted at them, but they ignored her and went straight to their room. They locked the door and started bursting out into a tear. Day and night spent lying on the bed without caring and what was happening beyond the four wall. After a day of isolating them in a locked room, their mother started getting worried about what happened to their child. She forced herself to knock her child's door and ask questions with no response back. With heavy heart, she left the room and continued her work. Then one morning, when she was about to leave for work, she noticed a paper sticking out from the bottom of her doormat. With confusion, she opened and started reading.
Dear Mom, for the past several years, I've missed you a lot, even though we live under the same roof. But since my early teens, we started to become strangers from being a family. Looked like you were busy in your work, but regardless, I was your own child, and I felt like you should have given me some priority. Last week, you had asked me about what had happened to me. I don't know where to start, because it has already gone so deep that I can't see any ray of hope anywhere. I wanted to share everything with you, but I feel I've lost you. I always wanted to share my feelings and how I perceive and felt different from other kids. We live in a society where it's assumed that everything should be done in perfection. Everything should be in perfection. Sadly, I don't fit in this conception of being perfect. It may sound weird to you. You always used to be the first person I share my personal feelings with. I always wanted to come out and share about how I felt for other boys. But this time, you weren't the first person I spoke with. When I lost you, I found a guy on social media. He was very humble, non-judgmental, and a very good listener. We used to share everything. He never used to judge me on how I look, how I spoke, or who I was. We've never met each other, even though we'd been friends for more than 2 years. Slowly, without even knowing that I would, I started falling for him. He also felt the same thing for me, or that's what it said. But Mom, he let me down, just like you did. He left me, Mom. He used me. I needed you the most at times like this, but you weren't there for me. He did the same thing as you did. Was close to me for a while, and left me when I needed them the most. Why me, Mom? Why me? Mom, nowadays, you notice me suffering. I needed you before, But even though it's late, it's not over. I still have hope that we can be as we were before. A family. We can start this all over again. It's not over. We can start a new beginning. Your lonely child.
With eye full of tears, she fell to the ground, thinking how long the letter must have been under there and for how long her child was waiting for a response. She did not go to her work that day and spent the day sitting on her room thinking about past memories. Later that night, she got a piece of paper from her favorite diary and got a pen, went to the garden, and started writing a letter.
Dear son, I still remember that day when I found out I was pregnant with you. I remember I was worried and scared, but happy at the same time because you were with me. I spent my time thinking about when I would hold you in my arms, how you would look, and how we would spend our time together. But when you came, I was so disappointed. You looked nothing like I had expected. I had to take some minutes to accept that you were my child. I didn't expect my child to be born without an eye. I wanted my baby to be perfect. For a while, this thought was on my mind, but I convinced myself that no matter what, you were my child and I loved you the way you were. I still remember your first steps and the smile it brought to my face. I can still hear you calling me Mom for the first time. I remember each and every moment we spent together, everything we shared. I acknowledge that I didn't give you the time you needed. I wasn't there for you when you needed me the most. I was so focused on earning money because as a single mom, I wanted to give my child the best future. I know you look down at me. I know you think I don't love you, but all I wanted to do was help you live your life the best you could. I had to focus on my work for us. I'm so sorry, my child. I apologize for everything I did wrong. But remember, no matter what, I'll always be there for you. Your lost but loving mom.
After an hour, she stand up and go inside the home. It was 1:47 a.m. She went in front of her child door and passed the letter under the door. At the morning, the child found out the letter and said, "Read me."